Just a quick recap, I'm creating a huge 15-character fan art of YouTuber PopCross Studios' original characters in his story's multiverse tales, featuring some of the most prominent ladies of that universe. Last week, I covered the beautiful magical forger for the Sharp Gang, Vasilia Kuznet. Now we're covering the second-to-last Demon Archon and our third-to-last villain, Sciferimov. As explained in both my Fear Herself video and in my Archon double feature, the Demon Archons are basically godlike creatures that are alleged to have formed the multiverse and have existed outside of the different dimensions for a long while. But they wanted to gain physical bodies in order to interact, destroy, basically do whatever they want within the worlds they would inhabit. Fear herself granted them these bodies, each of them also representing different genres of fiction. All of the demons now have the ability to create their own horrifying armies and destroy whole worlds for the fun of it, along with abilities that reflect their genres. Sciferimov is the embodiment of the sci-fi genre. She looks like a combination of Doc Ock and the DC villain Conduit. My husband also says that he got xenomorph vibes from her. Regardless, her design definitely reflects the nature of her genre. The way that Sciferimov creates her demon armies is through a techno-organic virus, similar to Biomech Kayla's abilities. However, the virus kills any living creature it attaches itself to and reanimates it as a stronger, mechanically enhanced zombie in complete submission to Sciferimov. This really comes into play as Sciferimov infiltrates Tayran and Vasilia's world and begins to kill and take over many of the creatures inhabiting it. Not only was it not good that the Demon Archon was in Tayran's world, but Tayran, who is an avid beast chronicler/tamer, couldn't stand the thought of Sciferimov mercilessly killing these creatures he admired and studied. Again, this was another very cool but tedious design from PopCross. I had to do a lot of figuring out what was metallic and what was organic. Certain elements of her design definitely seemed to lean toward mechanical or technological, but then they would morph into a more organic look. So the shading and highlighting was definitely a little bit difficult, but man, by the end of this, I should be an expert at metallic shading, right? Phew, there was a lot. Regardless, there was a lot of work on the highlights and shadows of all of the different limbs, the metallic cord-like muscles that make up the body of Sciferimov, as well as, again, fighting the balance between what is mechanical and what is organic. But overall, I really do like her design, as well as the almost bioluminescent claws and talons that she has, not only on her hands, her feet, and the tentacles, but also the sword. I really like the colors and how it looks. Through Sciferimov's story, we also see a little more of the dynamic between the Demon Archons. They all refer to themselves as siblings of one another, and along with this comes their sibling rivalry. Some Archons take it much more seriously than others, including Sciferimov. Not only did she just take over worlds for the fun of it, but she also wanted to have more worlds than her siblings. We find out there was already another Demon Archon that had infiltrated Tayran and Vasilia's dimension, and it's our last Demon Archon, Fantorel, which we will dive into in our next villain drawing. But to sum it up, Fantorel and Sciferimov decide to have a monstrous match over who gets to have dimension T905, Tayran and Vasilia's dimension. One of Sciferimov's infected monsters versus one of Fantorel's toughest creatures. The final and most important bit of Sciferimov's story is actually her end. I know I said at the beginning of the whole series that I would try to keep the spoilers light, but I feel as if this spoiler is important to the overall story of the multiverse tales, so apologies to go back on that. Plus, we know that our heroes need to destroy all 7 Archon demons anyway, right? So it's only logical we would get here. Anyways, remember Tarsa, the big bad of the multiverse? And do you remember her version of the Infinity Gauntlet, the Multiversal Orb? Well, the Multiversal Orb was created by the Demon Archons to grant Tarsa power. In exchange, she would grant them the physical bodies they so desired. But Tarsa betrayed the Archons and didn't grant them physical bodies, instead enjoying the immense power of the Multiversal Orb and wreaking havoc in the story of Mytholethal, and obviously for years and years to come. Tarsa was eventually locked away and her powers stripped from her, including the Multiversal Orb. At the climax of the battle between Sciferimov and Fantorel, Fantorel reveals to Sciferimov that she knows where Tarsa is, and that Sciferimov can have the revenge that they all wanted. Not only this, but the Demon Archons agreed that whoever found and killed Tarsa would take over the world from Mytholethal, the world they had all wanted to inhabit all those years ago. Sciferimov agrees, and she, Fantorel, another important female character, Astra, and Tayran all go to the dimension where Tarsa is being held. Through a crazy series of events, again some spoilers being withheld, we find out that Tarsa placed a curse on the Multiversal Orb, that if the Demon Archons ever were granted physical bodies, they would be able to have their powers taken from them by Tarsa. And we find this out as Tarsa is killing Sciferimov, taking her powers, her techno-organic virus, tentacles, and everything for herself. Now, with one of the Archon's powers, Tarsa is able to escape her prison dimension, and there is now another threat to the Demon Archons, not just the Reaper, Alexis Jones. This was such a cool story arc that PopCross told, and it's just ramping up the excitement of how in the world will Tarsa be defeated, and how many more Demon Archons is she going to absorb. Thanks again so much for watching, especially if you got to the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like seeing these art videos, as well as if you want to follow this journey. Next week, you're getting another double feature of 2 of the youngest members of the Sharp Gang. But also, if you want to see these fully finished renders, you can also go over to my Instagram at SuperBlondeNerd. But thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!